So My Hero Ultra Rumble, the new update came out. I was planning on doing this before the update came out. The balance patch that came out. I guess I'll do it now. It's what day is it? It's the 14th. So the patch came out 2 days ago. Around two or 3 days ago, the balance patch came out. And I wanted to do this on my own, like what I wanted to see for the balance patch, but I guess we'll see what the next balance patch is in store. So I'm just gonna go over all the characters, I'm gonna go over what moves should get buffed, what should get nerfed, how I would change the moves, and I'll put footage on the screen to demonstrate what I'm talking about. I'll go over all the characters, all the moves that we need to talk about. And I'll talk about some bugs that need to get fixed, and then other changes and like game modes or something. And then some characters that should be in the game. So to start with Deku, on the first move on Air Force, that needs way more range because it doesn't have like as much range as like Bakugo has, and I don't think it has as much range as Todoroki has. And the damage, I know the damage got nerfed, but I don't think the damage is too crazy. Especially for low levels in Deku. And as for the kick, I think it's the second move in Deku. That needs way more range, and the tracking on it is like okay, like the auto tracking, but the auto tracking could be way better. I feel like the range is like fine because like you can like look up and like kick upwards from mobility, so it is a good mobility tool. But I just feel like it could be at least at like level 3 and higher. It should have more range because sometimes it just doesn't even hit. And then also Black Whip, Uraraka's wires, and Froppy's tongue. I'm gonna put this in like a separate category and like part of the glitches, because multiple times when I use those characters and use like Black Whip, the wires, or Asui, like the mobility move doesn't even work sometimes. Like maybe you're like too close to the ground, or like you sometimes have to jump into it. The move just doesn't even come out, or it does come out then it doesn't even swing you around. It does nothing, and then you just get killed because you wasted the move, and there's fucking people behind you, and you get jumped and die, and that's not fun. So I'm just looking at some basic notes I wrote down. So like, yeah, instant blanket, Black Whip more consistent with like and the same thing with, when I say Black Whip I also mean like Uraraka's wires and Froppy, like those mobility moves, because I'm gonna put like a montage of every time it fucked me over so you understand what I'm talking about. As for Bakugo, the only issue I see with him, and this is a buff for Bakugo, but hear me out. So like, you know, like the flame wheel move, right? If you point upwards, it won't go up. It only goes like down, or just like straight, I guess. But literally every other move like that, you can go upwards for mobility. Bakugo already has burst speed for mobility, so he doesn't need this. But it's like so stupid that it's like, because it's similar to every other move that is like that, but worse. A good example is both of Iida's moves. It looks the same, it should be the same, and Bakugo is the character where it should work like that. Like fucking Deku's kick goes up. Every move that's like that goes up, or mobility, except Bakugo's flame wheel thing. And that's the only change I would do for Bakugo. For Ochako, again, it's the wires. That's like my biggest complaint with the wires, where it's just so inconsistent. It doesn't even work most of the time. I like how there's 3 of them though, because with Deku you only get 1 Black Whip per cooldown. And then the second move, the twirl move, which are like twirls a rock and then twirls a car at level 9. That, because like it's pretty slow honestly, and Uraraka is lacking. Like Uraraka needs to like get in and get out of situations. It needs to be a bit faster, with better lock on, with like auto tracking, especially when you throw it. Like if you throw like the low level versions of it, it's like a small thing, you know. And it just needs better like lock on, because some moves do have like auto tracking, And Uraraka needs that desperately. And yeah, I think the float, yeah, the I don't know what it's called, but the move where, like that red thing where you put up all the rocks and they all come down, that has like this same like red mark that Bakugo's grenades have, and Yaoyoro's cannons. It's like that same red thing. And for an example, Bakugo's grenades, you can put them like far, like the red marker can go far, but Ochako's thing is just like very limited. It's very much like it's just unnecessary. Like I understand it, but it's also unnecessary. It just makes Uraraka so bad. Especially, and that's another thing, right? Like the cannons, Yaoyoro's cannons, or every move in the game, honestly. It's not just, but I've seen it more with that rock move with Ochako, where like if you use it and then get hit, it doesn't even come out, but it uses up the slot. Like it uses up the cooldown. It uses up the move, but it won't come out while you're getting hit, which is fucking stupid. Like I get it, it's so fucking broken. If like let's just say you're about to get hit, you put it up, make your opponent float before they hit you. But sometimes it's just like the game just says no, and it's like before you even get hit, and it's like why? We suffer it. And as for in the float, in the special action, it should be 2 uses per. It's only 1 use per cooldown, and the cooldown is pretty fast, so it's not like that big of a deal. But Uraraka is that character that wants to get your cards, the reboot cards, and dip. And this is like Uraraka from like season 6 or something. So, and at this point, Uraraka can lift with the 0 gravity, like a lot. So having 2 uses is fine. Make Uraraka float and then a teammate float at the same time, because you can only do 1 at a time, either yourself or a teammate. I don't think 3 is necessary, but 3 would be cool. It's just a buff that Uraraka needs. Maybe have 2 floats per cooldown. Next is Ida. Ida, like the Reserva burst is fine. You got a buff with reduced cooldown or whatever. So like I know like move 2 has somewhat tracking. Move 1 doesn't have that. It kind of does, but it also doesn't. Because I tried out Ida yesterday, and there's so many times where like it just misses completely, and I'm like kind of looking at them. It's so hard to lock on using those melee moves. But I feel like, because the biggest example, and it's funny I say this, Smash Bros. Sonic. Like you spam the B button and it just auto tracks, and it's like that kind of same kind of move. It should kind of be like that, but it's also going to be annoying. Because most people use that move to escape, and let's just say there's an enemy like next to you, right? And you want to escape. If you use that move to try to escape, it's going to auto lock on to the guy next to you, and that's going to be annoying if you're trying to escape. But for combat purposes, it needs lock on. Because I know move 2 has it kind of. As for Todoroki, the only 2 things I have 1 thing listed here for Todoroki, but I have 2 things actually. The first one is Todoroki should be able to jump over his own ice wall. I understand like other people can do it, but I think Todoroki should be the exception. Like if you put up an ice wall, he should be able to jump over it. But maybe not other players. Because it just gets so annoying. You get trapped in your own ice and it gets so annoying. And the other thing with Todoroki is I've noticed is if you use like his ice mobility move and go off a ledge or go off like a building or something, it breaks the ice completely. And it like stops, even if you use it for like half a second, it won't go the full way. And it kind of makes sense, but it also kind of doesn't. Cause like in the show, you know, just make it work. You know, the ice can float if it's connected to something, and it's just so annoying. Cause like every character's mobility can kind of like move off the edge. Like for example, Yaoyorozu, the shield, it just falls down, but it doesn't stop. It falls down, but it doesn't stop. You know what I mean? Todoroki's that's like his only weakness, really. As for Froppy, this is like a hard one to do because if you nerf Froppy, it's gonna be annoying. If you buff Froppy, it's gonna be a pain in the ass. Mobility, the same problem as Black Whip, as I said earlier. Attacks need more range at all levels with slight damage increase, and special action should work mid jump. Let me go over this. So, Froppy is not meant to fight. Froppy is meant to get your cards, revive, and run away and heal. Like Froppy does no damage, no range on the moves. The only move that has range is the tongue, and you need that move to escape. So if you use that move to fight, and then you get jumped, you can't escape. You just use up your mobility move to fight, which is stupid. And her only attacking move has no. It looks like it has range, but it really doesn't. It doesn't do a lot of damage. So the only thing Froppy is lacking is damage, and that's literally it. Froppy can fight, but like you're not winning a fight with Froppy, like 9 times out of 10, unless you're fighting like a Deku who just started the game or something. And the special action should work mid jump. So like what I've been noticing is like Ibarra and Cementoss can instant revive with like the cement and the vines, and you can do like kind of far away but not really far away, and maybe behind a small rock. Okay, like maybe behind a small rock you can do it. With Froppy you have to be like you have to be on the same ground level and kind of like be close enough. And if you're like jumping right over them, it won't work. Which it should work, because kind of how Froppy works in the show anyway. You should be able to do the special action, like if you're right on top of them jumping, it should work. You just bring them up, heal them, let them fall down. It's not that complicated. Next thing is Kirishima. A lot of these are kind of like repetitive, in the sense of like a lot of these are kind of the same. For Kirishima's lock on with move 1. Move 1 is like where it just karate chops and goes forward. Like I've been using it so much, it is very good. It's like how Toga's how it works, kind of, where it has 0 lock on. You just gotta like try to control it. It's really hard to do, especially at higher levels. And move 2 needs more range. It's like that tackle thing. I think it got buffed. It got like more uses per cooldown. It just needs more range because Kirishima has like no range. Like mobility, like he does have mobility with his jumping third attack, and both of these, all of his moves really. But it's not enough to get him out of situations. Tackle, I think if you're gonna buff any mobility, it would have to be the tackle, because that can go upwards, and we already know how good that could be. Move 3 is gonna need a little bit of explaining. It's the one where like you can jump and like he launches at you and like it impacts the ground. Bigger impact radius at higher levels, so like maybe level 3 and higher, a bigger impact radius. And like there's like a jumping version of it, and there's like a grounded version of it. The grounding version has 0 mobility, like 0. With the air, like the jumping one has like good mobility, I guess. If you don't want to increase the impact radius on the jumping version, which is understandable, because the jumping version has good radius if you like land right on them. You don't need the extra radius if you're right on them, jumping right on them. But the grounded version, and sometimes I get in situations where I try to jump and do it, but like the game is so like weird where like, it won't let me do the jump version if I'm like mid-fight. So like if you just do the grounded version, it should have bigger radius than the jumping version, if that makes sense. The jumping version should be the same radius on impact, but the basic one, grounded version, should have bigger radius, because it needs it. And also it needs with small invisibility. So like that's another thing, right? Those kind of moves, they're kind of left open for a few seconds, and it should give you like maybe a second of invisibility. And when I say 1 second, I mean like 1 second, like not 2 seconds, just 1 second. You know how like you get attacked with a move and then you're like invisible for like 5 seconds, like that kind of thing, but for 1 second. That would give Kirishima literally everything he needs. And then here, the next thing I have here is for the special action for hardening. This is a weird one to explain, because there is no special action in this game you can level up. And so how am I gonna explain this, right? So we're gonna get the Unbreakable Kirishima as like a skin, like as a costume. It's not like gonna be an attack or anything. Hardening should be the only special action with level 1 and level 2. I think level 1 should stay the same, and level 2 should be Unbreakable. And how Unbreakable is gonna work, well, that's like a whole other can of worms. But that's my idea. Make Kirishima unique, you know. Make like all the characters are pretty unique, but make Kirishima more unique and make his special action go a higher level. Maybe like level 5 it goes to Unbreakable, or maybe level 9 is Unbreakable. And this could be the only character who can level up their special action. Next one is Yaoyorozu. Move 1 should be similar to basic attack. So like Yaoyorozu, if you just spam on Xbox, swinging X is like the punch button. At the end of it, Yaoyorozu throws like a hammer, and that has more range than her first move, which is supposed to be the kind of range move. I feel like it should be kind of incorporated, because I haven't leveled up that move at all, I don't think. But from what I've seen, it has 0 range. And it's like kind of bad. The third move, the cannon, has the same problem as the Choco's rocks, to where like if you're getting hit and try to put it down, it'll use up the move, but it won't put the cannon down. Kaminari, I haven't used Kaminari yet, so it's like one of the characters where like I'm just like from what I've seen from fighting Kaminaris and having Kaminaris on my team, he seems like the worst character to me because he just like no kills and he's just like kind of bad. Because like his whole thing is like a gimmick, right? From One Justice 2 and the anime, where he puts up 3 orbs and they connect together. Like I don't know what the move's called or what number it is. The one where he puts up an electric wall around himself, I don't think he has any invincibility in that. So he can just get tackled or like just hit through it with range or whatever, and it's just so stupid. He should be able to have some invisibility of that. So let's say you put up the electric wall, right? And you're fighting a Bakugo who's like sniping. For the time the electric wall's up, it should like deflect all attacks. Just give Kaminari something. And then the charge needs like I think Kaminari has like a charge move where he like launches at you like a tackle. I don't know if that goes up or not from a build. I have no idea. But if it does, cool. If it doesn't, give it to him. Kaminari needs something. The next character is Kendo, and this one's like kind of special to me, because Kendo is probably the worst character in the game. Even though I think Kaminari is the worst character, I just really like playing Kendo, so this is upsetting to me. And Kendo needs a buff, and I have a lot of ideas here. So I've mentioned this before. Every time I use Kendo, a lot of times, the rocks are so bad. So like they look good, right? They scatter around. You throw them, they get scattered. On paper, it looks good, right? But in actual gameplay, it hardly hits because they're so scattered and the rocks are so small. The rock throw needs range and bigger rocks at all levels with more damage, because the rocks do like no damage, and you need more of them per like cooldown. I know Kendo's a lot of rocks per cooldown. I don't know the exact number, but I know it's a lot. Number 1 Kendo needs more of them per cooldown, and they do more damage. I would even be happier with less damage. I mean, more damage and less rocks per cooldown. The rocks just need a buff. At least level 5 and up, they need to be like boulders, you know? The grab move, the third move, I know this one can go up. How like the deck, for example, Deku's kick and shit like that goes up. You can do this to go up from mobility. This is like Kendo's only mobility. Is the grab move, and it needs more range because it has like 0 range, and it needs a damage increase because it's like Kendo's only damaging move, and it doesn't do a lot. And Kendo needs 2 of them per, because I think Kendo is 1 like rep per cooldown. The third move, that needs to be buffed to 2 or 3. Honestly, like Kendo needs so much of a buff, it needs 3 per cooldown. And if you do everything there, like don't even touch this shield. If you don't even touch this shield and put like fixed skill 1 and 3, then Kendo will probably be God tier. Which Kendo should be God tier anyway, because Kendo is awesome. I'm still going to use Kendo a lot, because Kendo is one of my favorite characters. And yeah, Kendo's special action is fine, I see no problem with it. I don't know if you can use it to like carry a down teammate, but I don't know, so if you can, awesome, but if you can't, that needs to get added. Next is Ibarra. This is coming from, like, again, I've used Ibarra probably 5 times, total, maybe like 8 or something. Maybe under 10 matches with Ibarra. I've fought enough Ibarra, so I understand by now. Move 2, move 1 is fine at higher levels, they just trash at level 1. Move 2 needs some tracking, so I had a fight yesterday against Ida, and like none of my moves are hitting, because Ibarra is so slow, all the moves takes forever to come out, and that move is like, looks good on paper, right? It like goes all over, but it needs to have like, full, like fucking Neji shit. Or like had like Neji's Byakugan, he's like fucking dome in the back of his head, like open. The second move needs to have like a cone. You know what I mean? Because like you're just fucked from the back, and Ibarra has no like defense against that. I'm getting like against like a fast opponent. Ibarra has nothing to deal with a fast opponent. And move 3 needs more control. What I mean by control is like, let's just say you grab an opponent in move 3. You need to be able to, like, let's say you see like another opponent coming at you while you're using move 3 on another opponent. You need to be able to deactivate the move and run away. You can't deactivate the move until the move is done, which is stupid. I understand, but it's stupid because it leaves you wide open. You need to be able to like turn it on and off at will if you hit an opponent with it. Alright, next is Cementos. Again, Cementos is one of those characters I like hardly use. But I know like Cementos is good. Move 1, he's at least 1 more use per cooldown. I think it's like 4 or 5. I think he has 3 of move 1 per cooldown. I think at the very least, make it level 4 and up. It should be maybe up to 10 uses per cooldown. And then move 2 and 3 need to be faster with slight damage increase at higher levels. Because it's the same problem with Yaguro's cannons and Ochako's rocks, where sometimes it doesn't even work if you're getting hit, but it takes up the move anyway. Next is my lady. They kind of fixed the third move, the kick move, where it's like Deku's now, but except there's 2 uses, which is fucking awesome. Finally, movement, because my lady has 0 movement, right? Base form is probably the worst. In base form, she's the worst character in the game, but only in base form. Move 1, the projectile move, it needs more range. I'm not talking about the giant form, I'm talking about the base form, not giant form. Okay, not the giant form, I'm talking about the base form. Needs more range and more bullets. The first move, the projectile, because it has 0 range. I don't think it does too much damage in base form anyway, but I think the damage is fine because you know giant for damage. But for base form, needs more range and more bullets per use. Move 3 needs more, and again, I'm talking about base form, not giant form, not giant. I'm talking about base form. Move 2, the stomp, needs mobility. What do I mean by that, right? Because it's just a stomp to the ground, so there's like no mobility to it. The best thing I can compare it to is like Bleach Brave Souls. There's like moves in those games, you could like use a move and then quickly flash step away. But, like you use a move in Bleach Brave Souls and then you like vanish as the move is going. Like that kind of mechanic needs to be here, because you can just keep like if you use that stall move, you're just open and you're just fucking dead. Like that needs some kind of mobility, not in the sense of like getting you like I'm not talking like fucking Black Whip away, fucking Spider-Man shit. I'm talking about like just use it and maybe you can like run, or like maybe mid stomp you can like roll away, like dodge, like mid stomp you can cancel it, like in Xenoverse 2 there's like key stunning. Yeah, that's like the best way to describe it, is like key stunning in Xenoverse 2 with that stop move and base form. Because and then the move 3 is perfect the way it is now after the bounce patch. And for the transformation of the giant form, the only thing I'd really say about it is that like if you're getting sniped, right, and you can take too much damage, the transformation will deactivate even if you have timer left on it. And I think they need to take that out, because that's fucking stupid, because you can do a giant form and then immediately go out of it if you're getting sniped. I think in giant form you need more health and more fucking shield anyway, because think about like Pokemon Gigantamax. It's not the same thing, but you know what I mean. And then as I have transformation needs better tracking in my notes here. I'm only talking about the projectile. Only talking about the projectile. And even then, it doesn't need too much range. It's kind of the same problem as compress, because like compress the higher levels, like throwing trucks and like even like the boulders and like level 1 stuff. You're like, I'm like right in front of like this has happened to me like at least 5 times now with compress, where I've been right in front of an opponent. I'm hurling the fucking projectile and it's missing. I'm right in front of my opponent and it's missing while I'm locked on. Now on this shit, I'm not gonna talk about All Might because I haven't used All Might and I don't really care, to be honest. Shigaraki, move 1 should go up buildings at higher levels and faster decay. So like Shigaraki's like projectile can't go up. If I remember correctly, it can't go up buildings or like mountains or whatever. They can kind of go up slopes, but not like buildings or anything. But higher levels, and it needs faster decay. And what because like when you use like any of Shigaraki's moves, it decays buildings, fucking trees and shit. I feel like at level 1 it's like pretty slow. But let's just say you have level 9 and use the projectile move, it should like almost instantly decay shit. Like it should speed up the decay process. Alright, and I'm gonna go back to move 2, which is the one where it puts decay on the ground. because I'm gonna need more explanation for that one. Move 3, the mobility move, it needs 2 uses per cooldown, and it needs to go farther because once you use Shigaraki's third move, which is the mobility, it goes like 0 distance, right? It goes like 0 distance. It kind of goes distance, but like you'll still die. You're not getting out of the fight. It needs more mobility. I think, yeah, it needs more mobility, or 2 uses per cooldown. So anything there. Move 3 needs more mobility, and or 2 uses per cooldown. Let's go back to move 2, which is the one where like he puts Decay on the ground, or it's the same thing with Kirishima, where you jump in and do the impact. With Shigaraki, if you jump with move 2 and use it, it'll like launch himself. It should have the same properties as Dabi's wall. Dabi's third move, which is like the firewall. If you didn't know, Dabi's wall move, it cancels every attack and projectile thrown at you. It's literally a wall that protects you from every attack. Like if fucking like it's like a Hakai, where like let's say a Bakugo is sniping, you put up the wall, it erases all of his shots. It like deletes all of his attacks. The problem with Shigaraki is that Shigaraki is like his mobility move doesn't go far, and his decay move, his projectile, it can't really go up at least that fast. So if you're getting like if let's say you're fighting a Bakugo who has the high ground and you're Shigaraki, you're dead. Because your third move can't go too much distance, and your only projectile with Shigaraki can't hit the Bakugo who's on the high ground. So this is why the second move needs to work like Dabi's wall. Alright, let's go there again. Let's say you're Shigaraki, right? And you're fighting a Bakugo who's sniping you from a high ground. Shigaraki, if you want to escape, use the third move to escape. It has 0 mobility, so you're gonna die regardless. The first move, you can't even fight back against the Bakugo because your projectile can't go up the building. So you can't even damage the Bakugo who's sniping you. So you can't snipe him back. And his second move can go distance, but you're still gonna get sniped, and it just doesn't go too far. It's not fucking All Might jump or some shit, you know. So like I said before, his second move, which is where it puts the cake on the ground, it's on the ground, so it would make no sense to put like fucking, you know, hit high like projectiles. But like, come on, you know, let's give the same properties that Dabi's wall has, you know. It should decay every projectile that gets thrown at him. Maybe not every move, but every projectile for sure. Because that would give him something against Sniper. Because Shigaraki could do nothing against a Sniper. Like, nothing. I just laid it out like 3 times, like every example. So if you... Everything I said for Shigaraki, right? His first move should go up buildings faster, decay faster. And then if his third move had more mobility and 2 uses per cooldown, and his second move could decay projectiles like Dabi's wall does, then that would erase Shigaraki's weakness. Literally. Just snipers. Right? Now for Dabi, the special action, his special action you can only use while you're crawling like dead. Like not dead, but like downed. And it's the same thing with Gagurosa's Cannon, Uchako's Rocks, any move where it's like you put it down, but like it takes up the use, but it won't put the move down if you're getting hit, which is fucking retarded. It's probably a glitch. It's so annoying. I've had situations where I'm like crawling, and I'm like, you can hear me mashing like I stream when I play, so I'm mashing the Y button, and it doesn't come in the fucking special action doesn't even come out when I'm dead because I'm getting hit with like punches or whatever. Which I understand, but I still don't. It's like, it's the only thing I can do. It's my special action. It should come out regardless. The whole point of it is to do that. So that's the only thing I would do with Dabi, because like Dabi got buffed with damage and everything. I don't think Dabi needs any like buffs. I would say maybe nerf some damage, but like in some annoyance thing. But I think Dabi's fine. I say that because I'm a Dabi main. It's kind of biased, I understand. So with Toga, then like the knife throwing is fine. She has like so many knives like per cooldown. So move 2 is the same thing with Kirishima, where Kirishima's move 1, where it's like kind of wild, it's hard to control while you're using it. With Toga, you need more tracking and more control, because you can just be twirling the fucking shit, twirling move 2, and it won't hit nobody because you can't control it. It's way too fast. so it needs some kind of tracking. And once you, what I've been noticing with Toga with move 2 is that once you activate it, you can't stop it manually. You need to be able to stop it manually. So it needs more control and a little bit more speed. So I know Toga and like Asui have higher like if you just press the A button to jump, I think those are the only two characters in the game who have a higher basic jump than everyone else. I think Toga should get because Toga is just dead, right? Doing like everything. Toga needs more speed, like just a little bit more basic speed. Now Omega Press, which is the last character in the game, move 1 needs better tracking. I think Brady mentioned this earlier, where I've been like right in front of an opponent, spamming the fucking projectile move with compress, and it just misses. We're both standing still. I mean, okay, so move 2, I think move 2 should be completely overhauled. I'm not talking about overhaul of the character, I'm talking about like game mechanic wise. Move 2 should be changed to where like it should stay like the same like a shield. It's kind of like a shield now where it like deflects like one bullet. So what's the best way to explain this? So like move 2 should be changed to bounce back at higher levels. So what this means, like let's say you're compressed and you're fighting a Bakugo, right? And you put up the move 2, which is the blue wall, the blue like shield thing, and Bakugo throws a grenade at you while you're putting it up. And you're at higher levels at like move 2. The second Bakugo hits your blue, like your move 2 with a grenade, the grenade should bounce back at him. Like something like that. But it shouldn't be spammed, you know, because like let's say once you throw one, like once you bounce back with one projectile, it should take up like half of the fucking cooldown on it, and it have to wait for it to come back. You can't spam it, or to balance out, you know. And then the third move, like I'll put like a placement up on this as well, like a montage, to where like move 3, the only purpose of move 3 is getting the fuck out of situations, putting himself in the orb and dipping, and you can get killed while doing that. While you're in the orb and shit. For one, it takes way too long to activate, and number 2, even while you're in the orb you can get killed, which is fucking stupid.